That's fear now. Ignorance turned to fear, and now they're holding you in that space.
Right.
Which tells me that you choosing to go is now a personal attack against them.
A lot of people have actually portrayed it like that. Because, like, I barely told my parents, I think probably Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I don't know which it was. But,
so Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, so just barely. And both of them were like, throw their hands up, and because they know I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. And so they're just like, why? But not like we can stop you. You're going to do whatever the heck you want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
So then you've got other friends that you don't see your parents very often.
No, I don't.
Now you have other friends that you see much more often who are really having a problem with this.
Yeah.
And now if you were to look at their lives and how they show up in their relationships, are you at all surprised that this is how they're interacting?
Well, I get that they have a lot of... that they really love me. Yes. I really get that. And, I really don't... It's hard to say why people do the things they do, but I know they really love me and care about me, and I know that's their initial reason for doing it. But it's like you said, if I was saying I was going to France by myself, they would still have an issue, but it would be way less.
It would be different.
Yeah, but like I was telling you, I said, when I went to France, the airport was bombed 2 hours after I left there. I was flying out by myself. The airport was bombed. It collapsed 2 hours after I left. And when I lived up in Salt Lake, a house was bombed like a block down the road. In Salt Lake City, friggin' Utah.
So...
I mean, if that stuff's going to happen wherever it's going to happen. It doesn't matter where I'm at.
Maybe it's because of you.
Oh, that's feedback.
Yeah, let's just be clear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried at all. I'm staying in a freaking 5-star hotel on the beach at the Dead Sea. I'm pretty good.
I think that's going to work out.
Yeah.
So this is what I don't get, is why are people willing to project their fears and ignorance on you and then hold you in their fear and ignorance? Like you should be as afraid and ignorant as they are. Because if you were as afraid and ignorant as I am, you'd never do that.
That's really true.
And that is exactly true. That whole idea of, man, if you were as afraid and ignorant as I am, you'd never do this. Because in essence, when I look at us going to Switzerland, the whole reason I decided to go to Switzerland was because I've heard so many people say how awesome it would be to live abroad and to go travel or to do that kind of thing and never do anything about it. They never take any action to do it. They never do anything. And that frustrates me because I think, well, where else in your life then are you selling out?
Right.
All the things that you think would be so cool and so awesome. And so I decided, I can, heck, why can't I move to Switzerland? Sure, I can move to Switzerland. Sure, Melissa can go to Jordan. Now, I don't travel. I dislike travel very much. I do not enjoy the preparation of travel. I do not like the act of traveling. I don't like the time involved in traveling, any of those things. I really like, though, being there. Like, I like when I'm there. So
see, for me as a lightning, so to speak, I love to travel. I love making the lists of what I get to have when I'm there, when I'm going, the whole packing list. I love making the plans, the preparation.
Any opportunity to make a checklist, you're in.
But also, on the other hand, I do love to, like, friends and myself, we've gone on trips where we didn't plan anything, just got a plane ticket and just gone. I like that too. I just like the adventure of both ways.
So I get that for us, we kind of deliberately choose something other than fear and ignorance. And I know for me, as soon as the idea of going to a foreign country came up for me, all of a sudden all the things I had decided over history about foreign travel and not going to an English-speaking country and the difficulty of this and that, I had to choose in that moment whether I was going to live in that fear and ignorance or if I was going to choose out and create something different.
Right. And
so you know that I have started learning French and have been on countless websites learning about European travel and Switzerland and all that stuff. And I love that I had an opportunity in recognizing the opportunity to sit in fear. I took that as an opportunity to learn and to choose out of fear and ignorance and step through that. Why is it that when people in their lives experience the fear from ignorance, they don't do anything different? They just wallow in it. It's like sitting in a roasting pan and like
marinate
and basting themselves in it. And so then now they'll just be completely cooked and roasted in their own fear and ignorance. Why is it that people don't recognize that fear and ignorance is feedback and an open invitation to choose something different, to wake up, pull their head out, and to step into adventure, the adventure of life? Because I know that when the opportunity came up for you to go to Jordan, you had to make a decision whether or not you were going to choose into fear and ignorance or adventure. Yeah. And what did you pick?
You know, for like a 30-second window, I was like, hell no. And then I thought, why not? Why not? And I was like, you know what? I'm jumping in. I'm going for it.
Yeah, because if faced with a lifetime of fear and ignorance or a lifetime of adventure, I choose adventure.
Yeah.
Because fear and ignorance is stagnation, it's pain, it's insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again. When someone asked, why we were going to Switzerland, I said, why not? Why not? What reason would we not go to Switzerland? And then it's interesting to see what reasons people come up with for that. And then again, how you do anything is how you do everything. It's absolutely indicative of where they are in their life and what they're doing and how they treat their children or how they treat their families or their partners or their loved ones and how they hold them in their own fear and ignorance. So what's the remedy? Because I imagine that people are watching us right now and listening, and they're going to recognize in themselves that maybe they have let fear and ignorance stand in their way of adventure, and of excitement. So what's the answer? How do people who are listening, who see themselves in this, where do they go from here?
Well, for me, I want to experience everything. I want to live my life to the fullest, and I want to go everywhere. I mean, I have someone there that I care deeply about. Truly, I care deeply for him. But honestly, if something came up and for some reason he had to be gone out of town for those 8 days that I'm there, it would not change my plans, not even one bit. I would go there and I would have a hell of a time and enjoy it all.
So what about the people who find other reasons to not experience adventure? Like, how many people have I said, oh, hell, you can move to Switzerland with us?
Yeah.
And, oh, no, I've got the kids. And, well, you can move with the kids. Kids are allowed in Switzerland.
They have those there. I've seen them.
And you could bring your husband, too. We're not advocating you. You could just, it's too much. There's schools here, and there are schools there. Yeah. It's amazing what reasons, stories, and excuses people will come up with to hold themselves in their fear.
Yeah.
And make it not really fear or ignorance. It's that thing that's controlling my life, and it's that thing that's controlling my life, and it's that thing that's controlling my life. I'm not going to step outside of all these things I've given away my control to. I'm just going to sit here and be the puppet on the end of those strings. That's garbage.
Yeah.
And yet that's how people choose to show up in that